So again, YouTube, now that my BC Rich video has gone up, it's time to work on the next guitar, which is my Epiphone Explorer Gothic. I've noticed that, so I have been playing this a lot more, as I stated in my future plans video, and I've noticed that after a while, the switching to the bridge pickup, which in this one is currently the 60, it's just completely cut out. Now, it's only happened once before when I was showing Crich, because it had been a long time, and he came around and played my guitars. And I took everything out of the control cavity and it seemed to fix it, but then it's happened again, which is a bit weird. So I figured I might as well do it on camera as to me looking into it and fixing it and whatnot. So there's two reasons why this could have happened. One, it may very well be the switch. Now, this was the original switch, the first one I'd ever soldered. Back when I absolutely sucked at soldering. I mean, I'm not the greatest now, but I can at least do a switch, no problem. The other reason I think it might be is the power bus might be a little bit too big for the control cavity. Now, you'll understand that a lot more once I get the guitar on my desk and show you what I mean, but the control cavity is very tight. I mean, it's just wide enough for a 9-volt battery, so you understand kind of how small it is already. That's enough rambling on. I'm going to get my camera mounted on top of this little shelf I've got here. You're going to be the same angle as you was for the BC Rich video. While I'm here, I'm going to strip it all down, restring it, condition the fretboard, and all that fun stuff. But yeah, I will talk to you. Here is my plan. Take all the strings off, give the fretboard a good condition, but first I'm going to clean the guitar off. The joys of bad paint, it's so obvious when you've got marks and stuff on it, and it is a little bit dusty. As I say, GGBO took up a lot of my time, so these got a little bit behind. But yeah, as soon as I go it this way, I might as well check this switch first, and then have a look at the control cavity. And yeah, probably what I'll do is try and do a little tap test with it plugged into my line 6. Obviously it's not going to sound the greatest for you guys, but it's just so that I can figure out exactly what the issue is. But yeah, let's get these strings taken off. Okay, I didn't even touch the high E string, and that's just snapped. Let's carry on. I'm almost ashamed to show this, but you know, this shows that maintenance is definitely needed. You know, I haven't done this for quite a while. That's nasty. And yes, I used the same polish on the fretboard, but I knew that there was going to be some crap coming off it, so I figured before I put the lemon oil on, I might as well, you know, take that off. And yeah, the bridge itself is holding up pretty well. I'll probably do with a bit of a bath at some point. And yeah, so we're just going to go with the Dunlop lemon oil. Now I do something a little bit extra towards the end. So obviously this applicator is not really, you know, small enough to get to my higher frets. And also it's not really soaking into the sides. Sorry for doing that, keep missing it. So what I do is when I get a bit further down, I've got another clean cloth up there that I'm going to use. And I push, see what I mean? So like half of this fret, you know, it's not even, it's barely even conditioning. If anything, I'm conditioning the bloody metal. No, I don't. So I kind of just squeeze a little bit onto that, press it down, and then it comes through onto this cloth and I can get in to the areas where it can't reach. This is what I've always done since I've started realising I needed to condition this stuff. And I'm just going in, making sure it's across all the fretboard rather than just the sections where it can reach. So it's getting in all the little nooks and crannies. And we're going to leave that to soak in whilst I take off the pick guard and check connections on the switch first. That is the plan. So yeah, and once I've taken this off, we'll see what the crack is with it and we'll go from there. So I've got to be careful here because I can't actually remember how much wire I left myself. It may very well be the switch because this soldering job is terrible. So I get for being the first one, but I think what I'm going to do is try that tap test now. Now it's going to be on a distorted channel so that I can actually hear it and you guys can hear it, but we'll see what happens. There we go. Right then. So in the neck position, fine. Huh. Well, I've literally just taken off that and it's fine. So I think I'm going to resolder the switch anyway because looking at these connections, I could do a lot better. But I do remember having a lot of problems. The soldering iron I had sucked. But I just want to check the control cavity anyway. If we just put one of the screws back in here. Now, one thing I do need to do, once I've done this and I decide where I go from here, I will be pausing the footage because I've noticed, let's get you a bit closer in. So I have noticed that these are actually really loose, like I can tighten them down a bit. Not entirely sure if that's from when I first did it or if that's gradually happened over time. Not 100% sure, Let's get my angle back, there we go. Let's turn that off. I've got a line 6 pedal board, the short board down here on my feet, so I'll just press to turn volume down. But yeah. Now, I'll flip this over. In fact, just give this a wipe over, get all the excess off now. I mean, that looks a million times better. This is another guitar that will need a fret jack, level and crown. But they're not as bad as the BC Rich. The BC Rich, they are pretty flat. And this one isn't, they aren't actually that bad, but I mean, it just looks so much nicer. And the curse of a black guitar, you will never get all the marks out of it. Ooh, no, we'll put 2 screws in. That didn't work, did it? There we go. Yeah, so I do need to nip into the shed and get my spanners because I don't have them in here anymore. Let's move those out of the way. And you know what, while I'm here, let's get this cleaned as well. Because you can kind of see it. Tell you what, I'm going to move the camera again just so you can see the before. Because I didn't do the before on the front, so you can see this kind of, yeah, horribleness here. You can see the dust back here. That's what I'm mainly trying to get off. So let's do this now then. Okay, now let's see if I can do this without my phone wanting to fall over. It's alright, I'm going to have to zoom in on the control cavity so you guys can see it. There we go, nothing's trying to fall over. Because this was a weird one, whenever I removed anything, like I just did with the switch, it seemed to sort itself out, but yeah. And here we go. So, are you ready for the smallest control cavity ever? It's just big enough for everything I need. Literally, it's beautifully. But this is my concern, so that didn't slip out of my hand. Oh no, these connections are fine. Okay, that kind of confirms it, so it's got to be the switch. I mean, I did see the red wire looked shocking, so I'll tell you what. Whilst we've got this open, just to be 100% sure, make sure everything's working, I'm going to do another little tap test. Alright, so everything's open. In the middle. No, right, so everything's working now. Well, that's annoying. I mean, it wasn't working just before I recorded this because I tested it. It's just weird how when I seem to move stuff, it sort of works. Alright, let's. So one thing I need to do, once I've got it, I'm going to remove the wires for the switch on this. There we go. Right. Let's have a closer look then. So let's zoom out a bit. Bring you back up a little bit. And tell you what, let's get this guitar on the wall and let the fretboard condition properly. Ooh. I'll tell you what, let's close the control cavity up so the battery's not hanging around everywhere. Alright, so let's have a look at this switch a little bit closer, because there was a thing I noticed that I need to mention. One sec. Yeah, so you might as well just take it out. So, you gotta imagine, obviously this is the way that it's in the control cavity. It's just the way that these are bent up. I mean, you can see the little, you might be able to make out a little split in this white wire here. And yeah, the soldering is just a mess. I wasn't the greatest at soldering back then. I'm a little bit better now, but still not the greatest. So, yeah. I'm going to pause the footage here anyway, go and grab some bits that I need out of the shed, and we'll come back to it. Either I'm going to redo this switch, but while I'm in the shed I might as well look and see if I've got a spare one, but I'll talk to you soon. So I'm back. Nipped in the shed, grabbed my spanners that I needed. I also, just in case, grabbed a spare black switch. I believe this might be the one that was on the Angel of Death, or I'm not entirely sure. May have been one that I did for a daft little soldering project. However, I have realised that I left my my wire tweezers with someone else. I borrowed them for a bit, so I'll make do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to desolder everything and basically just start it all again. Safest option, I think. Gotcha. There we go. That wire did not want to come out, did it? Alright, let's have a look at the connections then, because I think what I'm going to do, I've barely left myself anything in there. Yeah, I'm going to cut them down, that's going to be a problem. Right, that's an easy choice. Put on a bit of new wires. Might as well. And there we go. So whereas before, when you looked at it that way, these were kind of bending and all that jazz, but I've managed to get them so that they are going to run really nice and straight. So I'm going to pause the footage here, get all tidied up, and in the interest of fairness, when I took everything off, I completely forgot which way around my wires were meant to be, so I had to use the EMG guide just to make sure. But anyway, yeah, I'm going to pause the footage here, get all tidied up, and we'll get this switch back in the guitar. So, talk to you soon. Let's get this switch back in. So, only thing I did off camera, I just put the wires back in there, in the little heatsink. Obviously, I know that they're a heatsink, but the thing is, I don't, heat shrink, sorry, get my words right. I don't need it for that, so I've just kind of done it to try and tidy the wires up a little bit. I'm glad that I didn't need that other switch, because, I mean, to be fair, it wasn't that bad, but just easier. I mean, I've ended up having to resolder it anyway. Right, let's get that back on. I'm hoping this is it, because this would be a nice, easy fix. I reckon it was the soldering connections, to be fair, because it was shocking. Now, I'm not the greatest at soldering, but like I say, with the way that the wires were bending, it wasn't really helping things. Oh, that looks better. You know what, in fact, while I'm here, I'm going to do it again. I'm putting the 81 back in the bridge, because that's how I originally had it set up. Yeah, because the 60 does sound really good in the neck. I just changed it around because I felt like it, but you know. Anyway. so that's that installed. I'm not going to fully do the pick guard because I want to get these wires installed first, and then we can go from there. Ah, it's a bit too long. Try with this one. Okay, so everything is working then. Hopefully. I mean, this is going to have to be a little bit of a trial and error thing, and see where I go from here. But for now, I have fixed it. You see what I mean about black guitars? Like I just cleaned this and I can already see fingerprints on it. Just flipped it over, but meh. Anyway, do the pickup height in a minute. Alright, so some of the stuff that's coming off this may very well be some of the nicotine damage. Even though it's been in a clean environment for so long, it does do, you know, a lot of damage to a guitar. So yeah, as long as I make sure that I do this every year, I'm going to say, which is easy for me to remember. You know, it's actually close to my birthday, so you know, easy on that. But yeah, so I think that's going to be the plan going forward. Is once a year, get everything off, regardless of what I'm doing. I'm not going to do it all on camera. You'll have seen me do this guitar like twice now. So I think you're a bit bored of it now. But I mean, hey, if you do want to see more videos like this, do please let me know in the comments. Now, you will have noticed that some of these holes are a bit, well, they're knackered. They don't actually screw in anymore. That's what happened when I first started out. I wasn't really careful with stuff. But yeah, that's that bit done. So, yeah, I'm going to pause footage here, just move some stuff around a little bit, and then I'm going to come back to it. I'm going to get this restrung, but I'll talk to you soon. So, didn't seem like much, but I just kind of rejigged some stuff around. So, let's get the bridge and tail piece back on, and let's get this bad boy strung back up. There we go. And I do love this bridge because, this tail piece because of those little clips there. whereas the majority of my bridges tailpieces love to fall off. That one stays on beautifully. So I'm going with any ball 10 to 46. Did have to buy new 10s and 13s because I broke 2 10s and a 13. Yes, 2 10s and a 13 during GGBO, so that was fun. And one thing I noticed on that one was the amount of winds that I put on that guitar was ridiculous. So I'm going to try and reduce that because I know I don't have to, but anyway, I'm going to shut up now. Let's get this bad boy strung back up. Now, can you guess what tuning I put it in? Yes, I put it in drop C. Well, here's the most important question now. I'm not going to hook this up to GarageBand right now because obviously these strings need to settle in and I do need to stretch them a little bit, which is what I'm going to do whilst I talk. But for you guys, it's going to seem like nothing. But for myself, I'm going to leave these settling in for a couple of days and I will come back to it after everything's calmed down and, you know, as it should be. The intonation's actually pretty decent on this, I'm quite happy. Still needs a little bit of work, but, you know, I'll do that. And I will play something different other than Tears Zone 4. It's the other reason why I want a couple of days. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Hopefully, anyway. Obviously, this is going to be a work in progress. The only other thing I can do to fix it is slightly enlarge cavity, but I'm trying my hardest not to do that because I don't have a template for it, so I don't want to royally mess anything up, shall we say. And I'm never going to find that now. Sorry, a string just falling on the floor. Anywho. But I will talk to you guys first. sound demos. I absolutely love playing this guitar, and as you can tell, I resisted the urge to play Tears Don't Fall. Still got some bullet in there, so I did hand the blood. Apologies if it didn't sound the greatest, but my wrist started to play up, and yeah, I need to work on this a lot more. But I did also do their version of Crazy Train. It isn't actually the tab itself for the main part, it's pretty much the exact same, apart from the fact that you've got the power chords in the intro instead of it just being the bass line. But also the low E string was tuned to D rather than C, so that made it sound really beefy. I love how this guitar sounds. I'm hoping that fixing the switch is it, and that I don't have to worry about it anymore. But we shall see. I'm hoping I'm going to be lucky. But you will definitely notice there's now a sizable gap between the headstock of these guitars and my Explorer. Well, one of the reasons is I've moved it a bit further across that way towards that wall, towards the Angel. But see, I got myself some new wall hangers, but I got a 3-pack of these Donna ones for like 22 quid on Amazon. Main reason I did it was because the 3x3 setup on these ones, the chord ones, 3x3 works fine, but 6 in line, it just, especially with the Angel and the Explorer, it just felt like it was going to fall. So I wanted to get some new ones, but I ain't that great with brickwork, so luckily my dad came around to see me and he gave me a hand. And as you can see, the 3 holes that are just next to SPH1 Mark II, it's where the original ones were. And another thing you'll definitely notice, now that I've moved a lot, I have a new chair. So, it's alright, there we go. So this turned up early. It's actually my first ergonomic chair. It's my birthday present from my wife. She let me open it early, so I was quite happy with that. Don't be alarmed if in the next video this room is going to change colour. I've got some new paint and stuff. It needs to be a little bit darker, but anyway. I'm not going to ramble on, because this video is already long enough as it is. I've trimmed it down as best I can. Skipped over a load of my talking that I didn't need. But yeah, that's it for this one. I'm really excited to get the next project started, but for now, as always, the social links are down in the description, so I have my Facebook and Instagram. Feel free to like and follow me. If you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, share, all that stuff. But if you want to subscribe and make it easier, click the button right here. This video is going into my guitar builds playlist, so that's going to be up here. And a recommend video, right about here. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you all in the next.